What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com. Back again with the NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Saturday, May 27th. It is Game 6, Celtics and Heat. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. And the big one, sign up for Stokastic. You see the banner at the top of the screen. There is a link in the description. It's attached to the promo code SCORE. You will get 50% off your first week of any package you choose. So if you just want a specific sport, go for it. Otherwise, my recommendation, take our Platinum package. You get everything. NBA, MLB, NHL, PGA, golf, NASCAR. I am sure that I'm missing another sport. That's top pitchers, top stacks, top batters, top golfers, top fighters. All of these tools available to you behind our paywall, as long as you click that link in the description. No brainer to at least come check us out for a week for 50% off. Now, we're going to round out the bottom of my top 10 with Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Max Strus, Cody Zeller, and Derek White on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. Now, I have no idea if this guy's going to play, but in at number 5, it's Gabe Vincent. Missed the most recent game with an ankle injury. If he's back, I think we're just getting normal Gabe Vincent minutes, and it certainly didn't go well for Kyle Lowry, so I assume they want him back. 5,600 for Gabe Vincent, projected for 24. 7% of the time he's your optimal captain, which we've already seen. 46% of the time, optimal at utility. That's 53%, man. Looking pretty good. Now, we just don't know if he's going to play. That's the real issue with everything. I went 32 minutes. I think they want it to be more if it can be. But if he's playing, we have to assume he's just starting and getting full run. There's no other way around it. There's no middle ground on an ankle injury. If he's out there, I'm going full bore for Gabe Vincent, and I like the price tag and the playing time. He's like a 0.75 guy, 12 points, 4 assists, 3 boards. It's nothing crazy. But at this price point and these minutes, I think Gabe Vincent might get slept on a bit. I'll be very interested to see his ownership if he doesn't get ruled out earlier in the day. Jimmy Butler in at number 4. He's 13,200. Man, that's a big price tag. Projected for 54. He's your optimal captain 20% of the time, plus another 33 at the utility. That's where you start to lose out with these high salaries. The captain odds are all still either really high or, where they would normally be. What happens when you start getting these 13K guys that are probably a little bit overpriced? You start to lose their ability for them to show up in the utility. 42 minutes for Butler, 1.3 fantasy points per minute, 30 points on 30% usage, almost 8 boards, 5.5 assists, 2.5 stocks. He looks fantastic. I have no qualms going to Butler, and you expect a big day. Back in Miami, Game 6, trying to close it out. But to pay off 13,200, you need a big day. There are very easy ways for guys like Jalen Brown or Bam Adebayo to just be slightly more efficient and unlock guys further down in salary. But for right now, Jimmy Butler, still one of the 4 best guys you can get to today. Like I said, Jalen Brown in at number 3, ahead of Jimmy Butler. 9,400, projected for 41. Optimal captain 14% of the time, but optimal at utility 40% of the time. He's just easier to fit into lineups because he's $4,000 cheaper. I went 40 minutes to Jalen Brown. I think there's a path that he plays more. Again, if they lose, they don't get to keep playing basketball this season. 24.5 points, almost 7 boards, 3.5 assists, and a stock and a half. I like the Jalen Brown price tag. There is going to be a game at some point in time in this series, or at least I think there is. Maybe not, we're running out of time. Where Jalen Brown is the reason that the Boston Celtics win, where he just goes off. He has not had that sort of experience so far, like in a big way, the way that we know that it could happen. Would you be surprised if it happened here? I wouldn't. In an absolute tie with Jalen Brown, we've got Jayson Tatum, 13,400, projected for 54, optimal captain 14% of the time, optimal at utility 41% of the time. They're both in the optimal 55%. That is interesting to see. I went 43 minutes to Tatum, 1.25 fantasy points per minute, 29, 11, and 5, 2 stocks. One of these guys has to have a big day. If you get bad days out of Tatum and Brown, this series is over, that's for sure. And they're running out of options. Like Malcolm Brogdon is generally like their 3rd offensive option. Doesn't seem like he's going to be playing a big role in the rest of this series. So I think they're going to lean on Tatum a little bit more. Whether you want to go to Tatum or Brown, what we're really just talking about is construction of the lineup. Because if you want to go big to Tatum, then you've got less to spend in other spots. If you want to go big to Jalen Brown, then you could work Tatum back in. You've got a little bit of extra money to play with, not the same sort of ceiling. I think you can go either way. There's a reason that I have them at 55% apiece. They both look good. They don't look as good as my number one contender, however. That's going to be my boy, Bam Adebayo, 9,200, projected for 42. Optimal captain, 25% of the time. Optimal utility, 43% of the time. 68% likelihood to be in the optimal. That is 13% more than Tatum and Brown. I went 38 minutes to Bam, but I think it's realistic that he plays more. They might get rid of Kevin Love in the starting rotation. They might get rid of Cody Zeller as much as they possibly can. So don't be surprised to see Bam play 42 minutes at home to try and close out the Celtics. 19 points, 11 boards, 3.5 assists, 2 stocks. He's been a one on the dot fantasy point per minute guy in this series. I have him projected a little bit better than that because I think he is a little bit better than that. However, 9,200, that is the thing that we're looking for most. There's no threat for Bam being off the floor other than foul trouble or injury. Everything is set in stone. He's going to get points just by default. He's going to get rebounds just by default. I love the floor of Bam, but there are days where the ceiling is massive. And I think that's the reason we see him come in to the number one spot. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders for Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston Celtics, Miami Heat. FanDuel version's around here somewhere, so check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. I'm putting it on wax right now. We will be back for another edition of the Contenders on Monday for Game 7, Celtics and Heat.